falls perfectly without you trying. You're so beautiful, you should say it every day. Oh, you know, I'd never ask you to change. If perfect's what you're searching for, just stay the same. Don't even bother asking if you look okay. You know I'll say when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah. The way you are, the way you are, you're amazing, just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. The way you are, the way you are, you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah.
All right. You are amazing just the way you are. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Jonathan Zenz. I am the spiritual director here. It is such a pleasure to have you here on this beautiful Sunday morning. A lot of stuff going on. I want to let you know about some of the things that are happening here around the center. First of all, I do want to let everyone know that in August we will not be offering the Dynamic Kids program. We're taking the month off, and we will restart that back up in September. I am going to be out of town the next 2 Sundays. Yes. And I will miss you. I'm going to take a little bit of a vacation. Part of my vacation is I'm going to the Asilomar Conference, which is a retreat at the central coast of California. I'm going to talk a little bit about it during my talk today. But that conference is happening July 29th through August 4th. If you ever have a chance to go to Asilomar, I highly, highly recommend it. If you can, make the arrangements to be there a week from today, I would highly, highly recommend it. But I will be gone for the next 2 weeks. Got some special stuff lined up, though, for the next 2 weeks of service, so you don't want to miss that. Thursday, August 9th, we will be having our next women's group meeting. That's going to be 7 o'clock right here at the center. Also, Sunday, August 12th. It doesn't sound right in my brain, but I know that it is right. It is correct. Sunday, August 12th is the last day that we're going to be collecting pennies in the penny jar. And then the next 2 weeks, we will be collecting ballots for people who are, guessing how many pennies we've collected. Whoever comes the closest to the actual amount without going over will win a full scholarship to the entire 32 weeks of Science of Mind 100. So that's what's going on. We have been doing the penny drive as a fundraiser for the center. We will turn the pennies in, put the cash into our bank account, and allow the government to melt down those pennies since they're no longer being minted. Monday, August 27th is going to be the start of the next mental muscle. The next mental muscle will be taking place, yes, it's going to be on Mondays and Thursdays, and it's going to be taking place in the evening, early evening. So I will put out a survey to those of you who are interested in participating in mental muscle so that we can find out the exact time frame that's going to work best for everyone. But yes, it'll be on Mondays and Thursdays beginning August 27th. Wednesday, September 5th, put your word down in your calendar. That's going to be the beginning of Science of Mind 101, the next set of classes. Can you believe it?
I know, I was just going September. Wow.
Yeah, September. It's coming up. It's coming up real fast. If you are new to our center and would like to join our mailing list, we would love to have you on it. There's sign up for that in the bookstore. Also, we are always looking for people who would love to volunteer. Volunteers are the core of this center. They are what make this center operate as brilliantly as it does. Specifically, we are looking for people to help out in tech positions. Also, we're looking for more youth mentors. So, there you are. If you are interested in volunteering, you can speak with me, or you can speak with Margaret Ann, who's sitting out there. And hello, Margaret Ann, waving her hand. Also, please do follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of those wonderful social networking places, because that is how we get the word out in this day and age. So again, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. It is, I'm feeling really good today, and it's good, but it's going to be an interesting service. I've got a lot going on in my brain today, and yeah, a lot is going on in my brain today. So first of all, let's just focus our attention right here and right now on our Declaration of Principles, which are the words on the inside of the front page of our songbook. And let's read these together. And remember that as you read this, you are making a statement that starts with, well, you're making several statements, each one starting with, I believe. I believe. Now, we do say it is done unto you as you believe within this philosophy. So as you read this, as we read this together, really check in with yourself to determine what is it you really believe, because that's what's happening in your life. So let's read this together. I believe that the spiritual and material universe are one. I believe that whether I call it God, spirit, energy, or universal consciousness, every person, place, and thing emanates from this one creative source. I believe that spirit is an infinite loving intelligence operating in and through all life, never separate from anyone or anything. I believe in cause and effect. I believe that it is done unto me as I believe, and as I think, so I become. I live this now, and I rejoice in it. And so it is. I rejoice in it. I rejoice in this knowledge that there is only one power. One power. It is a power. We say it's for good. We say it's for good because we use it for good. So we use this power and demonstrate brilliantly in our lives. This power is creating everything that's happening in our lives. And that is what we celebrate here every Sunday. So continuing the celebration happens very quickly. I'm going to invite Sonia Byrne up to do our reading. Who is straight from Egypt, direct from Egypt.
Although the internet doesn't always work there, I did get the message. Turquoise theme happening, yes. Is this working? It's fine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No. There we go. It's good. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, great. So the reading I chose is actually from a creative thought book from January 2008, long before I came to the center here. And in order to stay in touch with things from this center in Egypt, I bring these books with me to and from work each day. And people know that when I read this book, that they're to leave me alone. So I was in my office last week thinking, what am I going to read when I go to the center? And I opened up and I found this wonderful one from Sunday, January 13th in 2008. And someone from across the room said, "Oh, Sonia." And then they looked at me and they said, "Oh, no, you're having a thought." And I said, "Actually, I'm having a creative thought, and it may be the only one I have today. So, yes, do not interrupt me." And spending my time between Toronto and Egypt, I do spend a little time wondering why I spend my time between Toronto and Egypt and how all this came into my life and what it all means and how it's unfolding. And I'm definitely in the middle of it. So this really called to me when I opened it that day. Place yourself in the middle of the stream of power and wisdom which flows into you as life. Place yourself in the full center of that flood. Then you are, without effort, impelled to truth, to right, and to perfect contentment. It's a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. I am in the flow. Everything is one infinite spiritual presence of intelligence, beauty, and love, giving itself into expression. The one infinite power that creates everything from atoms to galaxies is flowing through all creation effortlessly. This same power flows through me and all my circumstances. As I realize I am one with infinite power, I allow my mind, emotions, and beliefs to awaken to the flow of spirit. All my desires are divinely inspired, therefore, they move easily toward fulfillment. Every activity around me is in the harmonious activity of spirit. Any idea of struggle or resistance simply fades from my awareness. I relax into the stream of divine creativity flowing from ideas through law into manifestation. I know with gratitude that I am now in the flow of spirit. I release my word to law, knowing it is done, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you so much. It was beautiful. Before, well, you're going to be playing for a long time. Just be aware. I was going to say, before we go there, so we do have two publications. The Centers for Spiritual Living, which is the parent organization of this center, has two publications. One of them is Creative Thought. The other one is Science of Mind magazine. They are fantastic publications, and they do each offer daily readings. We are part of a larger organization, and I'm feeling very emotion-filled right now because of what I'm about to talk about. So I'm sure you're all aware of what happened in Colorado a couple days ago, which is incredibly tragic. And I've struggled with how to address this within the context of the service because it's never an easy thing to talk about an event like this from the pulpit. It's not an easy thing. And there's a part of me that struggles because do I have enough perspective on it to really talk about it from a spiritual understanding? And I have to say yes. I have a spiritual understanding that helps me and guides me. And so today I'm going to offer you some thoughts so that you can come to a similar spiritual understanding. I've got some letters that I'm going to read that have come through. A couple of things that you may not be aware of. We do have there is a church, there is a center in Aurora, Colorado, led by Reverend Karen Pascal. And it is unfortunate that one of their congregants was one of the victims who was killed in that event. She does leave behind a mother and two young children, two young girls. They are taking a collection for the family. And what I'm going to ask the board to do, and they will take a vote on this, is that what we have to offer for our tithe from last month, I'm going to ask that we send that to the family of the victim. I do want to read to you what came through from Dr. Ken Gordon, who is the spiritual leader of the organization at large. To our dear spiritual family in Aurora, please know that our hearts and minds are centered in your midst at this time of sorrow and grief. I know that you have the courage and love to weather this difficult situation. All the conscious world reeled at the news just a few short days ago, and we are all wounded by this act of inhumanity and callous disregard for life. Please know that our prayers are with you, and that the hole you feel at this time will in some way and at some time be filled again with joy, love, and connection. This was an act that cannot be reconciled, excused, or explained by the intellect, nor should it be. However, this act also serves to call all of us to a deeper realization of love and compassion. As such, the inevitable effect must be to awaken each of us to a higher and more sustainable appreciation of the unity of life and the unity of humanity. I bless you knowing that your reaction is at polar opposites to the injustice, cruelty, and violence that has been visited upon you. Love begets love. Darkness begets darkness. We, the members and the spiritual family of Centers for Spiritual Living, believe, practice, and hold in mind the light of peace, love, and joy for all in this world. And we know that while this violent deed of one individual contravened any principle of the divine, that what is intended for pain and hurt by the perpetrator, God will transform, pressed down and flowing over into goodness. Know that you are loved and honored, and that we hold you in the arms of grace. My prayers are with you and my blessings. Dr. Ken Gordon, spiritual leader, the Centers for Spiritual Living. So how do we come to a spiritual understanding of such a heinous act? We read together this morning the Declaration of Principles that we share in this center. What Dr. Ernest Holmes read as a Declaration of Principles was quite lengthy. It was read at my ordination by Reverend Rita Andriello. You may recall. The one thing that helps me understand and move forward with love and compassion in my heart is this. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. We believe in the internality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. I stand before you today as someone who has a saddened heart, but resolute in my conviction that love will heal this. And that is how we must approach. We must not approach with anger. We must approach with love and compassion. And finally, the president of our organization sent out a letter as well. I'm just going to read a portion of it. I call upon every one of you to stand as sacred guides, holding high the healing light of love while embracing peace and understanding among all people, no matter what. Let's reject the notion that we must again and again give our power away to anyone with a lesser understanding of themselves and God. Emerson said, even in the muck and mire of things, something sings. I call upon all of us to be vigilant singers of truth. Otherwise, we will have learned nothing of abiding spiritual value from those who have left our close embrace. A higher consciousness will not likely be revealed in a day or a week, but over time, we will all be clearer in our understanding and stronger in our intention to live our lives safely while continuing to become ever more aware of our oneness of spirit. And so we're specifically singing today a light in this world with this in mind. We are a light of love. We resonate and we glow. We shine forth as love. That is what we are here to do. And so today, I honor the victims, I honor the families, and I honor everyone in Aurora with this understanding that love is at the core of all of this entire circumstance. So, I invite you to let this be the truth, to let this be the understanding, to let this be who and what you stand for and stand as. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. So now I ask you to consciously focus your awareness on the present moment with the understanding and the recognition that there is only one power. There is only one perfect presence. This presence is everywhere. It is infinite. It is eternal. It is omnipresent, omniscient. It is who and what you and I are. Every single person we encounter in this world is a perfect individualized expression of this perfect divine power, and we are all created from love. And we shine forth from love right here and right now. And I know and trust that everything that occurs in my experience and in the experiences of every single person here occurs with purpose. And so I give over to that understanding right here and right now and know that this purpose is good, this purpose is constructive, this purpose is a loving purpose. And it is our consciousness that moves forward from this place, from this understanding, that heals the world and reveals the divine throughout all existence. And so I simply step back and allow the revealing of truth to happen by means of me, and I trust it is happening by means of every single person here. I know this to be the truth, and I am so grateful for this. I am so grateful for this understanding, knowing that it carries me through, evolving into greater expressions of itself. I know that my word spoken is done right here, right now, and so I release it to law. I let it be so, as together we say, and so it is. So let's sing together, You Are a Light. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And we'll sing, We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We shine, we shine, we shine, we shine.
Ueshiba said, Morahai Ueshiba said, "You are here to realize your inner divinity." This philosophy of personal prayer works as consciousness to bring to awareness what was previously unknown or unseen to us. Let's pray. And so in this moment, as I recognize one life, one power, one beingness I choose to call God, I realize I am of it, within it, it is in me, the allness of everything, everyone, and everywhere. And I open to a healing, revealing, and the goodness of life. I release all circumstances to unfold perfectly. I trust in divine love and the goodness of life and people and this universe. With an open heart, with a freedom, I release these words to what is becoming. And together we say, and so it is.
I trust in divine love. Let's say that together. I trust in divine love. We are a collective consciousness. We have just changed the consciousness of this world by means of our intention. I just want to point out the difference in the energy. I talked about a very tragic event, but the difference in the energy, this energy radiates from this center and goes forth and is a healing presence. This is the power we have to change this world. And so I thank you all for what you contribute in consciousness. And so with that, I love our band. I do. I talk about our band all the time. Pierre has written this wonderful song called Shadows, and I am going to call on him to share it with us now.
Shadows can mess with your mind, keep you living small and confined. In the shadows, it can be hard to see when the light's not shining on the path you're supposed to be. So if you're doubtful and the great clouds appear, walk out in the rain and wash away your fear. And step out into the light. Break those chains that have held you tight. Be love wherever you go. You'll find light, even in the shadows. Even in the shadow. That's not to say that some days won't be hard, like the world is against you, leaves you charred and scarred. If so, breathe and go deep inside where love is present. Shadows cannot thrive. Forward motion and give of what we get. Loving all we have and live without regret. And step out into the light and break those chains that have held you tight. Be love wherever even in the shadows, even in the shadows, even in the shadows, even shadows. Even in the shadows. Even in the shadows. Even in the shadows. Be loved.
You'll find light even in the shadows. It brought to mind just, it's funny how the mind works. I've got so much stuff going on up here. So the mind has memory, and sometimes the memory doesn't kick in right away. But as we were singing this song, a memory came to me that I one time posted on Facebook. If you see yourself facing the shadow, turn around. That's where the light is. And we sometimes forget that because we feel lost in the shadows. But the light is there. There can be no shadow without light. So I invite you to just keep that in mind. I want to thank you, Helen Dino Brega, who was our practitioner today on duty, for that beautiful treatment. Because I don't, I was like, get up here, treat, right? Go, go, go. Like, everything's flowing perfectly. But I wanted to take the time to say thank you. It was beautiful. So today is a little bit of a different service, obviously. I mean, circumstance has led to that it's a little bit of a different service. But it's also going to be different because I'm going to rely on somebody else's words quite a bit today. So I did a talk some time ago called Belonging, and within that talk I talked about the difference between a sermon and a lecture. A lecture is meant to impart information. You go to university and you go to a lecture so that you can absorb information. A sermon is meant to change your life. That's the intention of a sermon. Now, whether or not my sermons, because I do call them sermons, a lot of people ask me, do you call them sermons? I say yes, I personally call them sermons. But in circles around, people who want to get away from the religious aspect of where we come on a Sunday morning may feel a little odd about me calling them sermons, so I will also refer to them as, it's just my talk. It's just what I have to say on a Sunday. But today I'm specifically calling it a sermon. And today's sermon is called By the Sea. And it's in honor of the fact that I am going to Asilomar, which is also known as the Refuge by the Sea. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility right outside of Monterey. It's in Pacific Grove, California. It is extraordinary. It is exquisite. And it's going to be nice and cool there. I'm expecting it'll probably be 15 to 18 degrees the entire time I'm there, which I will enjoy in the middle of summer, especially after some of the hot days that we've had. Now, Asilomar is the place where the Centers for Spiritual Living, at one time known as the Church of Religious Science, we've been going there for this refuge every year for more than 50 years. Ernest Holmes went there as a refuge for his retreat. And every year, it's an exquisite experience. You go to workshops, you have wonderful speakers, and it is just an extraordinary, extraordinary experience where you get to immerse yourself in this philosophy for a week, and you don't get to, I was going to say you don't get to deal with the outside world, but the outside world is still there. You just get to bask in consciousness and high, like-minded consciousness for this entire week. One of the workshops that has really affected me when I first went to Asilomar was a workshop called Dance with the Beloved. Dance with the Beloved. And it is about getting out of your own way and allowing your physical self to experience the energy of love. If I can ever get Reverend David Leonard here to do this workshop at this center, I will bring him in a heartbeat. He has his own church to run. So we'll see. My first experience of Dr. Bruce Lipton, whose book we just studied, The Biology of Belief. My first experience of Dr. Bruce Lipton was at an Asilomar conference. And the first time I ever heard Dr. David Walker speak was at an Asilomar conference. Now, you may not know who Dr. David Walker is. He was the founder of the Los Angeles Church of Religious Science, which is now the Los Angeles Center for Spiritual Living. And I have a direct lineage from Dr. Walker. Dr. Walker was Reverend James Mellon's teacher. Reverend James Mellon was my teacher. He was a brilliant, brilliant man, and some do refer to him now as the teacher of teachers. He has transitioned. He has gone on to his next experience. But he was a wonderful man. If you look at the certificate that is posted on our wall, just as you're heading out, it's our charter that established us as a center. He was the president when that happened. He was the president of the organization. It is his signature that is on that certificate. One of the other things that I experienced and make an effort to experience every time I can was Dr. J. Scott Neal, who is the spiritual leader at the Center for Spiritual Living in Fremont, California. And he has made a regular practice of delivering the Sermon by the Sea. The Sermon by the Sea. Now, you may not know what the Sermon by the Sea is, but I'm going to tell you. The Sermon by the Sea was delivered on August 15th, 1959 by Dr. Ernest Holmes. It was delivered at Asilomar inside the chapel. There is some thought that he may have known that this was going to be his last Asilomar experience. He transitioned in April of 1960. So today I wanted to honor Dr. Holmes and my going off to Asilomar by offering much of the wisdom that's in the Sermon by the Sea. Now, I had considered just reading the entire Sermon by the Sea today and letting that be the talk, which I may do someday. I may offer it at some point for those of you who are interested. It's a pretty spectacular offering. I am going to be giving you a lot of it today. Well, not a lot of it, but I'm going to give you a large chunk of it. So he opens the Sermon by the Sea with this. Oh, by the way, I do want to clarify, still at that time, God was a he. They were still using masculine pronouns, so there will be some of that in there. Obviously, we have moved beyond that in consciousness, so as I read it, please understand that it was a specific time and place. He also does refer to this philosophy as a religion. So he opens the Sermon by the Sea. Our religion is not something to be lived merely here at Asilomar, as much inspiration as we receive from it, but rather to take that consciousness which we have arrived at here back with us into whatever activities we may be engaged in. We can't keep this philosophy to ourselves. We cannot. We cannot afford it. This world can change when we understand that we are all looking for the same thing, regardless of whatever religious path you're on, whatever spiritual philosophy you are involved in. I think at the core of all of it, we are all looking for love. We are all looking for that deep understanding of love that wells up from within and expresses. And once we really understand that and we come into communion with that as a society, will this world change? So what happens at Asilomar must not stay at Asilomar. This wonderful feeling that I'm about to go and experience, it is imperative that I come back and I maintain that. I maintain this conscious awareness and bring it back with me and share it with you. And I trust at some point you will all go to Asilomar, have this feeling well up within you, and bring it back and incorporate it into your everyday life. Now, the funny thing is, there have been experiences. So my very first Asilomar, I went with James Mellon. And it was a wonderful week, and we're driving, it's like, the end of the week comes along, and you drive out, and, this was when I was living in Los Angeles, so we just drove, back to Los Angeles. But of course, you have to stop and gas up the car. So we're driving along, and we stop and gassing up the car, and there's this car, on the other side of the pump, and these people are just bickering with each other about who's going to pay. I'm like, well, I paid for the gas coming up here, and blah, 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 blah. And then they turn and they recognize Reverend James Mellon. Oh, we were just at a Sillamar. And the truth is, it can quickly go like that. Right? We must be diligent in our own mind. We must be consistent and diligent in the way we use our mind. It is so important that we be on top of expressing love at all times. Ernest Holmes also writes, "It would be my desire that simplicity and purity and directness, that straight thinking should never depart from the techniques of our practitioners or instructions of our teachers or understanding of our lay people." Simplicity is what this philosophy is all about. And we get mired in this, right? As we try to learn and understand and embody all that is. The truth is, it is simple. It is a teaching that is synthesizing the commonalities of many world religions that are all about love. Love. At the basic level, what we're all striving for is to express love. Common among all religious philosophies is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Which is not to say, now here's the thing where some people get lost. It's like, well, I was really being nice and treating that person like I wanted them to treat me, but they didn't treat me that way, so why should I continue? It's not do unto others what you would have them do unto you and expect them to do unto you. It is be a center of light and love in this world. Do unto others. Express from that place. And whatever circumstances show up, learn from them, yes, because when someone shows you who they are, believe them. I think it's Maya Angelou who said that. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. We are not here to be friends with everyone. We don't have to be friends with everyone, but we can express and show love for everyone, regardless of what they're showing us. Can you imagine how exhausting it would be if you had to be friends with 7 billion people in this world? That would be very exhausting. The Facebook would be overloaded. Yes, thank you, Tony. So ultimately, again, simplicity is key here. Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. I look at the breadth of information that ministers post on Facebook, and I'm telling you, some ministers are very long-winded. I can be long-winded. I admit it. But ultimately, I'm only ever talking about love. That's all I'm ever talking about. Love and law. Okay, 2 things. I'm talking about 2 things. Love and law. Now, the truth is, the golden rule works exactly as it's supposed to, according to the law of cause and effect. If you express love, love will be expressed to you. That's the way it works. Also, in the Sermon by the Sea, I would desire that in our teaching there should never be any arrogance, for it always indicates spiritual immaturity to me. Others will arise who will know more than we do. They won't be better or worse. They will be different and know more than we do. Evolution is forward. Evolution is forward. It was imperative in Ernest Holmes' mind that we move beyond the simple teachings that he taught us and continue to expand and grow our understanding of the world we live in. He said, if you're still studying this book in 50 years, you got it wrong. The irony, of course, is that it's been well over 50 years and we're still studying this book. What more is there to know? It goes in line with what I said last week in my talk, God in a Box. This book puts God in a box of sorts, right? What more is there to know? And what do you bring to the table? What is it that is flowing through you? What is it that is intuitively happening within you that you can share with the world? What is your unique gift? What is your genius that you can share with the world? It is within each and every one of you. That's the truth. That's the truth. And so it is imperative that we move beyond, but never in arrogance. Because in arrogance would imply that you think that your thought is of greater importance than somebody else's thought. It's not. We are equal. We are equal expressions of a divine energy, each of us expressing brilliantly and effortlessly. You ever notice that you never have to express with effort, really? You never have to express with effort. If you simply tap into that which you are, everything flows. But step out of any sense of arrogance and step into the understanding that we are all one. That is unity. There is only one thing going on, and we are all part of that. We are all expressing from that one place. The other thing to understand is that ours is not the only teaching. I've said this a number of times here. Ours is not the only teaching. We have a wonderful teaching. We have a very wonderful teaching. It works for me. Does it work for everyone? Well, I think it could work for everyone, but I'm not going to be the arrogant one who says, this does work for everyone. It works for me, and this is how I choose to live my life. And so I encourage everyone to find that which works for them to help them understand that love is at the core of all of it, and that they can express from that place. There's this may get repeated. just giving you fair warning. This next part may get repeated. Ernest Holmes also said, "Find me one person who no longer doubts, no longer wavers, but not one who is with a proclamation of superiority saying, 'Look at me, I have arrived.' I will not listen to that. Only that which reveals me to myself can be a message to me." What reveals you to yourself? Who reveals you to yourself? What do you surround yourself with? And is that in support of the idea that there is a divine knower within you that knows yourself? This goes to spiritual practice. The true source is within you. Nothing I say up here has any meaning or any effect except to the degree that you allow it to. The knower is working through you. Now, I could say, well, you're sitting here, so you are attracted to this philosophy. You are attracted to what I have to say about this philosophy. But ultimately, it is what do you think about yourself? Because that is what is going to come out. That is what is going to express in your life. Within you is the answer you seek. When we do spiritual mind treatment, and for those of you who are here for the first time, spiritual mind treatment is our form of prayer. We just call it something different. It is affirmative prayer. When we do spiritual mind treatment, we pray with the understanding that the prayer is answered within the prayer. That we're not supplicating or looking for something to come to us. We understand that the prayer is answered within the prayer. To change our mind is what changes our experience. To change the beliefs that are operating is what changes our experience, and that is all we are ever looking to do within prayer. Now, this is also a reminder for me to go deeper. Go deeper. I will not listen to that. Only that which reveals me to myself can be a message to me, so I must go deeper. I must go deeper. At all times, I remind myself I must go deeper. Again, going in line with what I spoke about last week, taking God out of the box and saying, I know nothing. Now what can I know? I know nothing. Now what can I know? And again, I credit Reverend James Mellon for that, because that phrase, that one simple phrase, has changed my entire life. So I'm now going to read a rather lengthy portion of the Sermon by the Sea. And you'll understand why I'm reading this. What I am going to invite you to do is, if it's comfortable, if you want to close your eyes and let the words just simply wash over you. Hear them. Hear them for the first time, which many of you probably are hearing them for the first time. But simply allow the energy of what is being said here to wash over you. I'm going to get some water first. It would be wonderful indeed if a group of persons should arrive on earth who were for something and against nothing. This would be the summum bonum of human organization, wouldn't it? It is in the life of the individual. Find me one person who is for something and against nothing, who is redeemed enough not to condemn others out of the burden of his soul, and I will find another Savior and an exalted human being. Find me one person who no longer has any fear of the universe, or of God, or of man, or of anything else, and you will have brought to me someone in whose presence we may sit, and fear shall vanish as clouds before the sunlight. Find me someone who has redeemed his own soul, and he shall become my Redeemer. Find me someone who has given all that he has in love, without morbidity, and I will have found the lover of my soul. Is not this true? Why? Because he will have revealed to me the nature of God and proved to me the possibility of all human souls. This is what religious science stands for. It is not a new dogmatism. It is not a new authority generated from a new alleged revelation of the God who never revealed anything to anybody. As such, else he could not have revealed all things to all people. There is no special dispensation of providence, but there is a specialized dispensation which the great and good and wise have just have known, even though they knew it intuitively. Find me one person who can get his own littleness out of the way, and he shall reveal to me the immeasurable magnitude of the universe in which I live. Find me one person who knows how to talk to God, really, and I shall walk with him through the woods, and everything that seems inanimate will respond. The leaves of the trees will clap their hands. The grass will grow soft under him. Find me one person who communes with cause and effect, and in the evening star will sing to him, and the darkness will turn to light. Through him, as the woman who touched the hem of the garment of Christ was healed, shall I be healed of all loneliness forever. Find me someone who is no longer sad, whose memory has been redeemed from morbidity, and I shall hear laughter. Find me someone whose song is really celestial, because it is the outburst of the cosmic urge to sing, and I shall hear the music of the spheres. I shall hear the music of the spheres. Now, whether or not Ernest Holmes knew this was going to be what is considered his final lecture, I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances were. I don't know what he knew about his health. And you know what? It doesn't really matter. He is calling upon all of humanity to step up. To step up. And so today I call on each and every one of us to step up. Step up our practice, step up our spiritual understanding, step up our expression of love. Because love is infinite. As much as we step it up, there's always more to express. So step up. today, and always. For life is evolving through you. Finally, Ernest Holmes writes, "You are religious science. I am not. I am only the one who puts something together. I do not even take myself seriously, but I take what I am doing seriously. You are religious science, our ministers, our teachers, our practitioners, and our laymen. You find me 1,000 people in the world who know what religious science is and use it and live it as it is, and I'll myself live to see a new world, a new heaven, a new earth here. There is a cosmic power wrapped up in a cosmic consciousness and purposiveness that is equal to the vision which releases it. Each and every one of you are religious science. Each and every one of you are the Centers for Spiritual Living. Each and every one of you is a perfect, unique, brilliant light shining forth in this world. And so today, we step up into that more fully, more expressively, more purposively. That is my charge to you, for it is my charge to myself. So I love you, I honor you, I give great thanks for you. Namaste. Like I said, a very different sermon today. So we've come to the point in our service where I drink more water. This is the point at which we do our offering. I am holding a popsicle stick here, which are available at the front. If you are part of the Count Me In program, our auto pre-authorization program, where you can have your contribution to this center automatically deducted from your accounts electronically, this is left for you so that you have something to put into the basket as I've just given an entire sermon, a lot of it off the top of my head, and now I can't think of a single word. As a symbol of your contribution, of your consciousness in support of an idea. And truly, money being given to this center is in support of an idea, a support of what we offer to this world and what we offer to our community. And so today I give great thanks for what it is you have to offer, and I trust and know that you're giving with your heart and not out of obligation. And I also know that this money, what we bring in today, moves forward to express in greater ways, in more magnificent ways for this center, and by doing so, it does that for each and every one of you. And so I give great thanks for what it is you offer here today. As the basket gets passed around, let's sing I Love, which is on the sheet, the loose sheet, or the sheet that's clipped to the front of your songbook. And we can stand up and celebrate the givingness of Spirit by means of each and every one of us.
I live, I breathe, I give, I receive, I laugh, I love, I'm a part of what's here, what has been, what's still to be seen. I live, I breathe, I love.
invite Helen Di Nobrega up to do the blessing over the offering.
Thank you, everyone. And so in this moment of grace, I welcome Spirit right here, right now, because I know there is one. That means I'm a part of it. Everything, every gift, every generous move on this planet. And so right now, right here, I just have a feeling of gratitude and acceptance, abundance, inclusive of, but not only about toys and money. Prosperity is everywhere. There is one source of goodness. I have all the resources, all the gifts of the love that unfolds this goodness in a greater and greater way every day. And so for this bountiful gift, for the leadership of this center, for our minister and everyone who steps through these doors, may this basket of goodness represent a growing, loving, compassionate prosperity for all. I let go, I let God, and so it is.
And so it is. And so it is. Gratitude fills my heart. Gratitude fills my heart for your very presence here today. I am so grateful to each and every one of you. And I'm here to remind you that you are that which is. You are love. And so again, step up. And in this spirit of gratitude, I want to thank for setting up today Margaret Ann, also our greeters today, Judy and Jim, our reader, Sonia, who has vanished. Where did she go? Maybe she ascended.
There she is.
There she is.
Brandishing a knife. Yes.
Patricia in our bookstore today. Helen Di Nobrega, your brilliant, beautiful treatments. Thank you so much. Thank you. Michelle and Jim are board members today. Also down with the Dynamic Kids, Mark and Mahala. Woohoo! Yes, indeed. Lucy for cleaning this center. Thank you so much. Our band, Pierre, Tanis, Patrick, Rudy, I know. I'm like, Ruru. I was like, where did that come from? Rudy and Brian. Also Brian and Carrie on sound today. Our cameraman and internet extraordinaire man, Tony Matthews. Thank you so much. Have I missed anyone?
Our fabulous spiritual director.
That guy? I knew this was going to happen. So, we're going to share today another Donna Michael song, one that's very close to me and holds special meaning for me in light of world events today. But it is on purpose that I share this today, as a reminder to each and every one of us that we are held in the arms of the divine. We are held in grace. That's the truth. And so, simply just hear this song and understand this song and embody this song. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. I'm held in love, recognize this one divine power. I understand it is the pure energy of love, and it is the only creative force, and it is creating by means of each and every one of us. It is creating by means of all things, all creatures great and small. I know that this is the very basis of all existence and all experience, this one causative force. It is grounded and founded in love, for it is simply love. And so in this understanding, I claim and know a deeper expression of this divine spirit by means of each and every one of us. And I know that we carry this with us into the next thing and into the next thing and into the next thing, being beacons of light for this world. We are the light. We are the love. And we express this in all ways, infinitely and extraordinarily. For we are the ones who create extraordinary lives for ourselves and share our extraordinary lives with all of humanity. And so I know we are all held in the hands of love. We are all held in the hands of grace. We are all held up in love. And in this deep understanding, I give over to gratitude. I give over with a thankful heart, knowing that my word spoken is done right here and right now. And so I simply step out of the way. I release this word to a loving law, knowing that the law gives back to me exactly what I put into it. And so I know it is done. I let it be done. I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 And so it is. So let's take this great, good energy and let's celebrate this with our final song, number 20. And I remember the number. I can't remember the name of the song now.
Watching the river
Watching the
run.
river run. Of all the days, I always remember the title, never the number. Today I remember the number. It's number 20 in your songbooks. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
If you've been thinking you're all that you've got, then don't feel alone anymore. When we're together, then you've got a lot. 'Cause I am the river and you are the shore. And it goes on and on, watching the river run.
Have a great week, everyone. I'll see you in a few weeks.
What are we doing?
I'll see you.